The barbell back squat can be intimidating, so we're gonna go over the big rocks today, but we're not gonna nitpick every single tiny detail, or this can be an hour-long video. Make sure you're facing into the rack and stepping backwards and not facing out of the rack, stepping forwards. You wanna be able to finish your set and walk forwards into the rack. It's a lot safer that way. I highly recommend that you use some form of heel elevation. You can either use a pair of small plates or even better, some squat wedges. What the heel elevation does is give you improved ankle mobility, which can often be a limiter for some people, and it's just gonna make the squat feel way more comfortable. Please use the heel elevation. When it comes to setting the bar height, you want the bar at roughly shoulder height, such that when you get in, the bar's in position and you stand straight up, you can clear the hooks on the way out. When it comes to hand placement on the bar and bar placement on your back, I promise you there's a reason I'm shirtless. My recommendation is you use a grip just outside shoulder width, and you'll see why that matters in a second. I want to place the bar on top of my traps, not on top of my neck. And if I use a really wide grip, that isn't going to be super comfortable, but watch what happens when I bring my hands closer together. You can see the muscles contract, and it creates a natural shelf for the bar to sit on. And so if I use a grip just outside shoulder width, it creates that nice shelf for the bar to sit on top of your traps and not up here on your neck, right here on top of your traps. From here, I can very easily stand up and get started. You can also do what's called a low bar position. Instead of the bar sitting on your traps, it will sit below your traps above your rear delts. And that would look something like this. I recommend you try the high bar position first, but either of these is totally fine. Some of you might want to use a bar pad because you don't really like how the bar feels when it sits on your traps. I'm not going to kill you over it. If you want to use it, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure that the bar isn't sitting up even higher on your neck now that you're using that pad as well. That said, I do think if you just put this away for a minute and you squat for a few weeks, the muscles that hold up the bar will get stronger and it will feel more comfortable over time. Before we continue on with the rest of the cues, I want to emphasize this point. I want you squatting in a way that feels natural to you, that feels good and strong and intuitive to you. Something that you can repeat week to week because it feels natural to you. We're all different limb lengths, different limb ratios, different mobility, and so your squat might look different from someone else's. Your most comfortable squat might have your butt going back more. Somebody else's squat might be more upright. And that's all based on individual differences and characteristics. So don't try to make your squat look like someone else's. I want you squatting in a way that feels natural, intuitive, strong to you. And so if you have to tinker with some of the following cues, please do it. Do not compare yourself to somebody else's squat. We're all gonna look different. Let's talk about your feet. My advice is to start with something around shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider, and have your feet angled out a little bit. This is just a starting point, a best guess where I think you might be pretty comfortable. But you can play with it a little bit. You might find that you like a little bit wider stance, a little bit more narrow, maybe toes pointed straight forward, maybe a little bit more flared. Everyone's gonna have a most comfortable stance that's a little bit different from someone else. And while I recommend something like this to start, you're very welcome to tinker with it. There is no perfect squat stance. There's only the one that feels most comfortable for you. When it comes to the heel elevation, just make sure the balls of your feet are also touching the floor, not scooted back like this where you're just kind of up on your tippy toes. And that goes for whether you're using wedges or plates. Make sure that the balls of your feet are nice and planted on the floor for best stability. Now, when it comes to general squat technique, I'm gonna demonstrate without the bar. I'll pretend like I have a bar, but it's easier to talk like this. Everyone's squat technique is gonna be a little bit different. Depending on your limb lengths, limb ratios, different mobility, just personal preferences, everyone's squat is gonna look a little bit different. While a lot of the technique principles are similar, do not compare your squat to someone else's. So what you wanna do is get set up like we talked about, balls of the feet on the floor, your preferred stance in terms of width and how angled your toes are. And then from here, I want you to imagine that you have a string attached to your butt from behind you and attached to your knees from in front of you. And both of those strings are going to be pulled simultaneously and you're going to move straight down. And so you have that string attached from here back, knees forward, and you're going to get pulled in both of those directions and you're gonna squat straight down. You'll hear the chest up cue quite often, and while I don't think that's bad, you don't need to overdo it. You're not trying to squat like this, you're just not trying to squat like this. And so with that string cue, I do want you to keep your chest up, just don't go crazy with it. When it comes to depth, I want you to go as low as you can with a neutral spine. I'm gonna show you what it might look like if you go too low. Watch my lower back. Nice and neutral, nice and neutral, nice and neutral, not neutral anymore. Nice and neutral, nice and neutral, nice and neutral, not neutral anymore. And so that might be a little bit too deep for me, or maybe there's something I could change about my stance or the heel elevation to improve things. Generally speaking, we do want to see your butt get below your knees and your hamstrings and your calves touching. And while not everyone's going to be able to do that, that can be a decent marker for people. Going as deep as you can with a neutral spine, getting to the point where your calf and hamstring touch and your butt is below your knee. Make sure you're controlling on the way down, and when you stand up, do not squeeze anything. You don't need to squeeze anything when you get to the top. Just freaking stand up and you're done. Nice and controlled on the way down. Just stand up and reset. Let's go through that one more time. You have a string attached to your butt, pulling back, knees pulling forward. Chest is up, but nothing crazy. Control on the way down, as low as you can with a neutral spine. Come back up, don't squeeze anything. So let's put it all together. You're gonna grab the bar at shoulder width or just outside, close enough to create that shelf, and get directly under the bar, stand up to clear the hooks, and then you want your wedges relatively close by so you don't have to walk too far. Get onto your wedges, make sure your feet are in a good position. Remember the strings, chest up but not crazy. As low as you can go with a neutral spine. Come up, don't squeeze anything. When you walk in, don't be shy. I want to hear it.